Hey, Mr. Darrell Finley here, Silverback University, SBU. Welcome, 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 welcome. If you haven't already, look us up on Facebook, look us up on TikTok, look us up on YouTube, Twitter, silverbackuniversity.com. You can also text the letters SBU to 855-731-2639. That's 855-731-2639. I'm the Big Ape Mr. Darrell Finley, once again, Silverback University, and we specialize in financial literacy and helping business owners, entrepreneurs understand how to leverage their business credit, how to leverage their personal credit to gain access to business funding. So let's get straight into it. I just want to go back. Let's go back to about right here. This is me when I was pursuing my music career. I went by the name of Lyric, ALYRIC. Got a pretty popular record, still get radio play today. Had a lot of fun when I was out doing my music, pursuing my music. Got to run into some celebrities and meet some people that you may recognize as well. But I want to go ahead and fast forward to this day right here. This is the very first day that I was working for the city of Miami Beach. This is my first day on the job. As you can see, I'm smiling because I couldn't believe that they paid, $18.93 an hour to do such an easy job. Working on the beach, it was cool. You may run into a celebrity here and there. Ran into Shaq one time, ran into J-Lo another time. She was actually kicking it with A-Rod at that time, jumping out the big ghost. And during the time while I worked on the beach, I went and got my undergrad. Figured I was too smart not to have a degree of some sort. So I went and got my undergrad degree. You can see my wife here with my baby. And for the most part, working on the beach was pretty cool. I complimented my wife. She was a physician assistant, and she had her uniform with her name on it, had my uniform, my name on it. So it looked pretty good, looked pretty fairy tale, right? Also started the lawn service during the time when I was working on the beach. Also had a barbecue business during the time I was working on the beach, Big Daddy's Barbecue. You can see here I'm flipping some ribs and talking some crap. I had a pretty good time doing that as well. So I always had like little side hustles and everything going on. You can see I got my seasonings. I had a real specific taste, real specific blend of seasoning for my barbecue, man. I did it in the hood every Friday, so occasionally you had stuff like this going on with somebody, had to go ahead and get tapped up a little bit. But ultimately I was working on the beach. And it just got to a point where I just got a little tired of it, to say the least. I just got a little tired of it. So while I'm working is when I began to look at YouTube videos. And this guy, the guy that's between my wife and I, this was the first black man that I ever saw talk about credit. He would talk about credit, and I would look at YouTubes, and I was working overnight. So that led me to have a lot of days and nights like this where I just wanted to go to sleep, man. I just wanted to go to sleep, but that didn't get in the way of me doing my YouTubes and learning about credit and so forth until eventually I got to the point where I got enough knowledge to where I went and got my own credit, my own business credit, as a matter of fact. So this is my first business credit approval. This is my first approval, $10,000 line of credit and a $5,000 credit card. And then after I got that approval, I went back and got another approval, which is how I got my first semi-truck. As you can see here, the bank deposited 2 different deposits, which ultimately was the money that I used to go purchase a semi-truck that you see on the picture here. And I did that with a 760 credit score. And that's just me being excited about, my truck, man, my truck going to make his money, going to do his thing. I was real excited about that. So once I began to understand the power of credit, I built out my personal credit all the way to the point of an 800 credit score. Now remember this guy right here that I said was the first black guy that I observed to talk about credit on YouTube. Well, I began to understand that, in order for me to really get to the level I want to get to, I'm going to need to invest in some mentorship. I'm going to need to invest in somebody that got some know-how about this credit game. So I invested in his mentorship. And before you know it, I was able to go ahead and get lines of credit like this. As you can see, this says a business line of credit, and this is for $100,000. Would you believe me if I told you the only thing I showed them for this credit, for this line of credit, was a copy of my ID? Would you believe me if I said that? Probably not. Here's another line of credit. This one is for $50,000. As you can see, it say business line. And this was the second one that I got. The last one that I got, well, not the last one, but the last one that I got at this time was for another $50,000. So in total, that's $200,000 in available credit that I now have access to. So what I began to do is I began to invest in real estate. So this was like one of the very first fix-ups I did that I used credit to do. There's a kitchen here, and this was the final result of that kitchen. This was actually a rental unit, a 2-1 rental unit. Well, it was real basic, real simple, but real clean, right? This is the kitchen of the very first fix and flip that I did. So this is how the kitchen looked when I first got the place, and then this is how the kitchen looked once we went ahead and, renovated it and staged it and did all of those things. And I just began to continue to invest in real estate. This is the outside of the first fix and flip that I did. It's a 3-bed, 2-bathroom in Miami Gardens. If you notice, I have the mailbox. My mailbox always match the color of the house. And you can see that in this picture as well. This is one of the earlier properties that I purchased. Still actually own this property to this day. And it's been on Airbnb for quite some time. It's been a short-term rental. One of the times it was rented out to some famous people. They had some Lamborghinis parked outside. And the understanding the credit helped me to leverage my personal credit to gain access to business funding, which allowed me to invest in real estate. I also invested in the rental car business, and I had a vehicle that was on tour road for a period of time. I even invested in the boat, man. I was renting out my own boat for a period of time. Sometime I get on there myself and take the family out. I even got into investing in timepieces and luxury watches. So this is one of the timepieces that I've owned. It's a pretty sought after watch. And one of my houses that I purchased, 3 units, I had that watch on, had the Porsche parked out there, been able to invest in exotic cars as well. And all of this came from just the knowing and understanding of credit, how to leverage credit, how to gain access to business funding through my credit. And ultimately, I put all that information together and I created Silverback University. Be strong, be courageous, be ape. That's what it said on the flyer. And I created that entire community, that entire curriculum, that entire course to help people understand how to gain access to the bank money. So if you didn't already, look us up on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, silverbackuniversity.com. Don't forget to text SBU 855-731-2639, 855-731-2639. This is Silverback University, Mr. Darrell Finley, the Big Ape, SBU.